Okay, so it's too early to tell if I'm getting any of those Bonjoro videos back yet, or put it this way, since we record 2 weeks in the same 1 hour time period, no one's had a chance to, so I can't report back on whether people have actually used Bonjoro to send me videos, but I will say this, it is really cool to get a little short video in your email from anybody, because it's kind of like a bonbon, a little chocolate that you get in the middle of your day that causes you to stop for a second, engage with someone, create relationship, and then it's over and you can go back to what you're doing. It's just this pleasant interruption. And I think that's one of the big values of it, especially if you're selling into people who work for companies. Because I remember back in the day when I wasn't working for myself, but I was working for someone else, I would love little discrete interruptions throughout my day, especially if they were personal. Bonjoro videos kind of do that. But last week, as we left off with me complaining about the fact that I have not figured out exactly where I can add Bonjoro type videos into my typical daily workflow. Can you give me an example of a perfect place where videos like this can work?
Yeah, definitely. So I said on last week's episode that we've been interviewing a lot of our customers and finding out some amazing things that they're doing with it. I think that the important thing from my point of view as a marketer is just listening to what people are doing with our product, because they're sort of breaking new boundaries. We can't figure it all out ourselves. And we interviewed a woman called Tracy Phillips, who runs a business called Video Script Success. And she had a really cool funnel set up. And I've seen other customers using this same funnel. And what they're doing is whenever they have produce a piece of content or a lead magnet, it's something that's going to draw people in to add their name to their list, name and email into their list. She is sending personalized videos to those people to personally invite them to her Facebook group. And it's really on her Facebook group that she's nurturing those leads, giving them more high quality information, publishing more content, and trying to, get them over the course of a few months into a position where they then go on and purchase her full courses. And it's interesting, we spoke to her recently and she said, really easy. This is and actually I think this is the key to the video funnels. They're simple. They don't have to be too complicated. There's not a lot going on here. It's just, someone signs up for one of Tracy's lead magnets, sends them a personal video, invites them to her Facebook group. And she shared with us the results. And she had gone up, so she had increased her sign-up rate from her email list to her Facebook group from 7% to 55%. You can read that if you go to bonjoro.com/blog. Lots of case studies on there, and this one's on there. But the bigger thing that had happened, he told us, was that actually from sending these videos, anybody that got a video compared to people that didn't get videos before and just got a standard email, they were converting in less than 5 days to her paid products versus 1 to 3 months beforehand. So it's interesting, not only is she getting a better sign-up rate, people coming in the door, going onto a Facebook group, she's really improving, her conversion flow, and it's really shortened that time to the sale. So really cool. I think that's something that absolutely anybody online could be doing. It's a really simple funnel that everybody could or should be doing.
If you're listening to this podcast right now and you listen to last week, you might go, yeah, I kind of get it, but maybe not completely. I think you just hit on something that would really help everybody. And that is head over to bonjoro.com/blog, because I'm looking at it right now and I see one nice SEO headlines like how a real estate marketing company gets 48% of cold traffic onto a demo, or how a SaaS company took MRR from 20,000 to 50,000 in just a few months. And you've got case study after case study after case study. One of my favorites is how a summer camp got $1,000 in referrals from one customer. I mean, a summer camp? Really? How does that work? Well, the whole point is you can go in there and find out how it works. And by the way, you're in the UK, Matt is in Sydney, Australia, and this case study is from a guy in Grants Pass, Oregon, here in the United States. So Bonjoro is truly multinational in scope. It's global.
Yeah. Interesting. If you scroll down, one of the other case studies, it's something around how an e-commerce store got to number 1 on Trustpilot in the whole of Denmark. And they were using personal videos in a really clever way to essentially gather reviews for their sort of men's fashion store that they'd taken online. They wanted to sort of recreate the whole bricks and mortar feel and do it online. And they put personal videos in at a really clever point in their funnel to generate more 5-star reviews. So that's cool. We've sort of gone a bit overboard with the case studies recently. It's interesting, we keep adding more and more of them. But I think it's key for us because we want to help people connect with like not just the feature set of the product and video and the psychology, more as like, you could actually just do this and it's really, really easy. And we're showing you in those blogs and the case studies, the actual videos that people are sending. And there's nothing sort of too smart about them. They're typically 30 to 60-second videos that just help that person connect with the customer in the right way, and they get a great result from it.
This episode of the Nonfiction Brand podcast is brought to you by my brand new book, Nonfiction Brand. Discover, craft, and communicate the completely true, completely you brand you already are. Now available on Amazon.com. Too many people for too many years have labored in obscurity. Why? Because that's the way it's always been. Work for someone else and remain nameless, letting others take credit for your hard work. But in today's hyper-connected everything is media world, that's all changed. In 1997, Tom Peters outlined the tenets of a new concept, personal branding. Fact is, if you're not actively branding yourself based on who you are, what you do, and how you do it, you are leaving opportunity on the table. But with this book and a little bit of work, that opportunity is 100% yours to own starting today. Christopher Wilshire, CEO of Egg Strategy, said, "This is the kind of book that changes how you view the rest of your career and how you go about amplifying your value to the wider world." To get your copy, head on over to Amazon.com and search Nonfiction Brand, and let's get you all the credit you deserve for the completely true, completely you brand you already are. Well, I'm here to tell you, you should not stop doing these case studies. And frankly, I think you should name them case stories. No one wants to study, but people love stories, like how a Patreon creator maintains a 98% retention rate. All of a sudden, someone goes, wait a minute, that's my situation. I want to retain my Patreon customers or patrons. How can I do that and use this? Well, there's an example. I mean, there's an app for that, or in this case, there's a case story for that. And literally, I look at these and it's everything. Like there's some stuff for nonprofits. There's one called How the Heart Foundation Raised $46,000 from one school as part of a fundraiser. How many people does that apply to? There's another one titled How an Online Makeup Artist Got a 100% Booking Rate. Online makeup artist? Is there such a thing? I guess there is. Tell me more. That's an interesting story. Personally, I don't need any online makeup consultation, but I definitely want to read that just because I'm interested.
Yeah.
And again, people learn via story. So this is a great way to find out how Bonjoro might be able to work for you. But one of the things I'm struck most about is the kind of brick and mortar small business, because right now, COVID's locked down all of them. And I don't know about you, but where I am, every single day, there's this restaurant closed, this small business closed, et cetera, et cetera. The reason why small businesses can thrive in a world that is all Amazon and Walmart and Tesco and all the big chains is personal relationship. Like, I don't know, you might have a bookstore you favor or a coffee shop or a bakery or something like that. Why do you keep going there? Well, because I know Sheila behind the counter and I know Mark's in the back doing that. And they know my order before I walk in and all these personal touches. Well, we live in a time where personal touch can kill you. Literally. Think about that. Personal touch right now in a time of COVID could kill you. So people are avoiding it and yet craving it like no other time in history. I think that this type of video stuff can help bring back some of that localized, personalized, personal touch that is the difference between a small business, brick and mortar, surviving through this entire plague or shutting down. And again, you've got tons of case studies about that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting to think about sort of the mental health parts of this as well. And something I should say before we about the case studies or the, applications of video here is like actually doing video and trying to connect with your customers at this moment in time is really important for you as well as the recipient. Like when I record, so I take about half an hour to an hour every day to record videos for our customers, different leads. I have affiliates sign up and I welcome them all personally to the program. And something that it does is actually, it's weird. It sort of simulates that feeling of connecting with someone properly and personally. And when I come off the back of recording my videos, I feel this like injection of confidence and like connectedness, which is it's really hard to explain before you actually do it. But there's it just feels like there's some sort of chemicals running about in your body. I don't know whether it's, like testosterone or whatever it might be from doing it. but it gives you that injection of like, I feel a bit more up and alert for the day. Like right now you can get into this sort of, not necessarily like a slumber, but I work from home all day, every day now, and you can sort of zone out a little bit. Doing something like this and recording videos for your customers zones you in, and it's really cool. And those little replies that come back from your customers, like you said at the top of the episode, they're like little jewels, little sparks that keep you going. And I think that's really more important than ever right now. So I think that totally is relevant on that level as well.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to go all evolutionary biology on listeners, but if you think about it, even as mankind existed as hunter-gatherers for eons before we developed civilization, right? So even if you're out hunting or gathering on your own, every time you see someone across the plain and kind of do the wave, it's kind of that, hey, I see you, you see me. We're now safer because we know where each other are. There's this lift, as you say, this lift of spirit. And I don't know if it's dopamine or endorphins or something like that, but there's literally a chemical trigger that makes you go zing. And I think you're absolutely right. And the thing is, we're not trying to make you pay for a big subscription or anything here. And this is not an infomercial for Bonjoro, but I want you to try it. And there is a free trial for the entire pro level, but there's also a free forever level. I'm looking on the website right now. It says 50 videos per month. There's some Bonjoro branding on the video, one custom funnel and screen recording available, and it's free forever.
Yeah.
So try it. And maybe it's not your style, but you won't know if you don't try. And I'm guessing that you may not like doing it until you start seeing and feeling the response. Do you have some great response stories that you'd like to share?
You know what? The entire business, the entire Bonjoro is built on the back of responses we got from people. So I should very quickly, I'll try and do it in a minute, tell you the backstory, why we built Bonjoro and what happened. So actually, we mentioned earlier in the episode that Matt, our founder, is based in Sydney. We were running another business. There was a market research business, and we had our customers in London and New York, mainly our sort of bigger customers out there. One of the big issues Matt had with time zones was that he couldn't connect with them. He couldn't get on calls enough. And we get new leads coming in all the time. And Matt just couldn't compete, to be honest, with like people that could go and meet them face to face in New York or in London. So Bonjoro was his own, originally before it's called Bonjoro, was Matt's own little hack. It's like, okay, every lead that comes into the door or any existing customer, I'm going to start recording personal videos. He sort of pulled together this hack. He used Zapier to sort of set up a little notification workflow. So he sort of triggered to say, hey, Matt, you need to record a video. With our CTO, he built this little MVP sort of video recorder that did this stuff as well. So, the original story of Bonjoro comes from, a hack where we were trying to sort of send videos to connect with people. And the replies that Matt got back were the thing that made him think, I want to make this into a full product. So he started getting replies from people saying, how did you even do this? Like, if you build this, can I buy it? Like all of these sorts of things. The excitedness of those replies was when Matt, and then I was in the business at the time as well, we sort of had a little bit of a round table. We had an online Zoom call. We were like, guys, I think we probably need to build a full product around this because the replies we're getting are so different and so effusive and excited compared to what we get from standard emails that there's something in it. We didn't know what something was. We didn't know how it was going to apply to other businesses. We had absolutely no idea. But we just thought, okay, we're going to build this. And the fact that we'd had replies from these customers as well saying, if you build this thing, let me know, because I'm probably going to try it myself. We had over 100 people that were ready to go and said, okay, if you build a beta, we'll jump on it and we'll probably pay you guys. So we did that, and Bonjoro is here 4 years later. So we're actually built on the back of those replies.
I did not know that story. I can't believe Matt didn't tell me that when I had him on the podcast. But the thing I love about it is that he was a sales guy. And here's the thing I've learned about salespeople. It's not about this thing they're selling. It's about the people they're relating to. Because a salesperson can learn anything from MRI machines to Abrams tanks to tissue paper. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the product is. What matters to a salesperson is creating a real relationship that is based on trust. It's based on kindness. It's based on problem solving. It's based on listening. But all those things can only happen when you're face to face. But here's the thing. No one can be face to face all the time. Bonjoro is kind of a proxy face-to-face for a whole lot of activity that to the end user feels like pure face-to-face. That's what I think is so cool about it. So again, there is a free trial, 14-day free trial of the pro level, which you can get at bonjoro.com. That's bonjoro.com. But I also want to point out that this is not one of those things that if you don't use it a lot, you're going to get continually charged on a recurring basis, because there is a free level. So what do you have to lose? And this is the whole thing about the Nonfiction Brand podcast. Social media is this whole set of power tools that gives you a reach around the entire world. Anybody online you can potentially reach via social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you aren't doing it, you are leaving opportunity on the table, and you are not allowing your nonfiction brand to be shared with people around the world. If I can inspire you or encourage you to do anything, it's to get out and try stuff until you find the stuff that fits your style and gives you what you want. The thing that I think is so cool about Bonjoro is the fact there is a response loop built into it, because I'm sorry, you cannot send someone a personalized video and have them not respond back. I mean, do you have any metrics on the average response rate or anything like that to a Bonjoro video email?
Yeah, so well, we've had over 2 million personal videos sent with Bonjoro in the last few years. Average open rates are still hovering up around 70%. Click-through rates are just under 50%. I think reply rates, they vary a little bit from customer to customer, depending on how they're using it. You know, if you're using it sort of cold sales, less replies. If you're using it with like people that have signed up into your sort of funnels, they can be, you know, above 50%. Yeah, I've seen there's a case study on a website, Joan Gary, who runs membership space for people in the charity space. She had something like 98% open rates and something crazy like sort of 60, 70% reply rates. So it's like if you're using video in the right way, you can expect the reply rates to be pretty crazy high. Yeah, as I say, I think the average of Bonjoro is like somewhere between 30 and 40% on the reply rates. I guess ask for the reply in a way, you know, someone might not reply if you haven't sort of like set it up in the right way. But if you're using video in the right way, and we can help you with that. You know, if you come to Bonjoro, we can definitely talk to you about how to use it. And there's lots of stuff on our site about the best ways to use videos.
Yeah, I have a thing I'm writing about in a new book I'm working on, and I call it comment marketing, where it's using the comment section of pick your, you know, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. You can market yourself without ever posting original content, strictly in the comments of other people's postings, right? And one of the tenets of comment marketing is make every comment a conversation. And what you're saying is make your video the start of a conversation by leaving the end with what I call a task or a takeaway. Give them something to do or sum up a takeaway and ask them what they think about it. Because here's the thing I've learned about humankind. Everybody has opinions. If you ask them what their opinion is, most people are going to tell you. And by doing that, they're responding back to you. And all of a sudden, what was me commenting on your post is now a conversation between us. And don't be surprised if in a comment situation, other people will come into that conversation from the side, because it's now a conversation. So you can turn your email from I'm shoving this at you to, oh, I'm engaging with you. And now we have a conversation. Conversations can only happen between people who have a relationship. That to me, I think, is the killer app for Bonjoro. It's that it creates relationship. So again, how can people get that 14-day free trial?
So if you go to bonjoro.com, bonjoro.com, sign up for a trial, you'll get a free 14-day trial as standard. We're not locking you into anything. You start on the pro plan, but if you're not using it as much and you're only doing like sort of Bonjoro branded videos and you're only sending up to 50 videos a month, then we'll drop you down onto the free plan. So you're not locked in. You can switch between plans whenever you want. So yeah, give it a shot is all I'd say, and see how it goes for you.
I mean, think of that free plan, 50 videos per month. Okay, so there are 30 days in a month. That means I'm doing 1 point whatever videos a day. That's almost like going to the gym and lifting the 1 pound weight. Can I do the 1 pound weight one time, 1 rep a day for a month to see if this works? I'm going to say yes. And I'm saying that to myself. So I guess I better get into that. And I did want to ask you about this. So let's say I'm a typical user and I'm like, I don't have a lot of time in my day. How can I get the biggest bang for the minimal amount of time buck that I have to spend in terms of bandwidth? Is there a kind of, here's the best first video you should be doing?
Yeah, I think the best two videos you should be doing. Okay, let's say the best first video you should be doing is call it a welcome video or an onboarding video. So if someone joins something that you run, send a welcome video, thank them, signpost them to the next steps. The key, I guess, for any business making money out of someone new coming into their business is make sure they're active, they're activated with that company. So for us here at Bonjoro, we send a video to every new sign up that says, thank you so much, welcome, we say their name, and then we say, hey, the first three things you should do are behind this little link. We put a link next to our video and say, click on the link, and it will take you through everything you need to do to get the most from your Bonjoro trial. And we say, okay, send your videos, this other thing. There's three things that we say. So for you and your business, I'd almost like reverse engineer it. So look at your best customers. What habits do they have? What are they doing? Are they engaging with your community? Are they posting into a community? Are they downloading certain pieces of content? And make that into your call to action on your first ever welcome video. So send a welcome video, push them through via a call to action to things that they should be doing to make sure they're a truly active customer. And once they're truly active, you're probably going to make more money from them, and you'll just generally have a better relationship and they'll stick around for longer. So I'd say the welcome and thank you video is the first one everyone should try.
That's a great idea. I mean, especially if you, like everybody else, is sequestered due to COVID and you're lacking that personal touch, that personal ability to just kind of look over the cubicle wall and say, hey, how you doing today? Wouldn't that be a nice video to get? And I'm just letting my mind go a little bit and say, okay, let's say I have a company and I have a new employee. They're going to start in 14 days. What if and assuming that we have a business account for this, what if all the managers that they're going to be dealing with sent them a personalized Bonjoro every day for the 14 days preceding their joining the company physically? What would that do to their spirit that very first day? They would walk in with this, oh my God, I can't wait to meet these people or engage with them in a personal way. And there was a time, and I still am trying to live this scar down, where I moved from Chicago, Illinois to Atlanta, Georgia for a new job. I walk in on the first day and the receptionist at the company that hired me, I just moved, 600 miles to join. And the receptionist said, who are you? And I'm like, I'm DP Knudten and I'm starting today. And they go, wait here a minute. And then they were gone for 20 minutes. And I found out the person who hired me was actually out of town and no one knew I was starting that day. I mean, I was like screaming inside my head like a small child left at kindergarten for the first time going, I made a huge mistake. What if instead that company culture was one of warmth and invitation and welcome? And they expressed that and demonstrated that well in advance via a tool like Bonjoro. Would my first day have been different? You know it would have been. Absolutely. So check it out. It's at bonjoro.com, bonjoro.com. And Ollie, I'm talking to Ollie Bridge, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of Bonjoro. If people wanted to connect with you personally, how can they do that via social media?
Yeah, best place to find me is generally on Twitter. So if you go to Twitter and put in Oliver Bridge 3, so OLIBER Bridge, BRIDGE 3, so Oliver Bridge 3, and connect with me on there. That's generally where I'm just sort of sharing thoughts in my head, like what I'm up to, what I'm seeing happening in work and marketing, the latest video tips that I'm sort of putting out as well. I'll sit there, I'll spend my week sort of going through trying to figure out new stuff that our customers are doing that I can do. And if I come across something cool, I'll just record a quick video and I'll just put it on Twitter. So, follow me there and you'll get like little sort of snippets as well coming from me.
It kind of makes sense that you're into Twitter because Twitter is kind of the written word adjunct to Bonjoro's video. Small chunk of that style that is what I call a radar ping. It's like, ping, I'm alive. Ping, here's something I want to share. Ping. It's just reminding you that, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still available and I'm still sharing and all that stuff. So yeah, that makes total sense to me. Looks like you got a new follower today. If you see a guy that is at DP Knudten, because there is only one, that'll be me.
Cool. All right. I look forward to it.
Yeah. At any rate, again, bonjoro.com, go get the free trial and don't be afraid. They aren't going to suck you in for the rest of your life because they do have a free level that allows you to do 50. That's 50 videos per month for free. No brainer, if you ask me. And again, I'm going to give you the homework I gave you last week, which is if you go do the free trial, send me one of your first Bonjoro videos to DP, as in David Paul, at dpknudten.com. Knudten spelled K-N-U-D as in David, T as in Tom, E as in Edward, N as in nothing.com. And I would love to see those videos. Anyway, Ollie, great talking to you. Good luck with Bonjoro. And again, I would invite anyone who wants to know what Bonjoro is good for simply to go to bonjoro.com/blog and read those case studies, because there's going to be one that is exactly doing what you want to do for your business or for yourself. And you'll be able to learn how Bonjoro can work for you. Thank you so much for doing the podcast. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand Podcast. Please like, subscribe, refer, and most of all, review this podcast because that helps other people find it. And he is
Ollie Bridge at Bonjoro.
And I'll be talking to you next week. Bye-bye.